It's spring, and Aptera has been incredibly busy during the first quarter of 2025. I'll tell you about it in chronological order, but stay tuned to the end because the most exciting news is the most recent news. Hi, my name is Bill, and welcome to Chasing Aptera, where I chronicle the trials, tribulations, and presumably joys of acquiring, transporting, insuring, and living with this unique solar electric vehicle. Aptera started the year by gearing up for the Consumer Electronics Show, which I covered in a previous episode. I'll link to that below. Based on the crowds at the booth, the lines waiting to sit in their decked-out production intent vehicle, and the media coverage, I'd say the event was a huge success. In February, they showcased their cool user interface. Here's what that looked like. Then Aptera headed out to the Mojave Desert to run tests on the track vehicle that they also showed off at CES. Among other things, they did an impressive coast-down test to measure powertrain efficiency and aerodynamic drag. It took over 3 minutes to decelerate from 60 miles per hour. They also did tough testing to make sure real-world airflow matched computer predictions about the vehicle's aerodynamic design. In early March, the company released their annual report to the Securities and Exchange Commission. Steve of Aptera Owners Club and the Ninjaneer did excellent jobs of combing through the report and comparing it to last year's. I'll link to their videos below. No real surprises. The report mentioned the lawsuit brought by Aptera, which we've known about for a while, and the SEC has asked for some documentation. On top of that, they increased their intellectual property portfolio, and they're still facing the same challenges when it comes to raising funds. More on that later. Jason Hill announced his resignation as he posted on LinkedIn. After an incredible journey as chief of design for Aptera Motors, I have embarked on a new chapter of design and business opportunities. About the Aptera vehicle, he went on to say, with design systems thinking and support from inspired leadership, we've crafted the product to capture all the best of efficiency in a captivating form and delightful driving experience. I'm glad I had the pleasure of talking to Jason when I was at CES and had the opportunity to express my admiration for his design. When Aptera is successful and starts building other types of vehicles, I know we'll see more of Jason's design influence based on creativity, efficiency, and first engineering principles. In mid-March, Aptera showed up in Korea at Interbattery 2025. Their full battery pack was showcased at the CT&S booth, and their Gamma vehicle was featured at the LG Energy Solutions booth. In addition to that, their body structure was on display at JEC World in Paris alongside Mitsubishi. JEC World is an international showcase of composite materials. Media company Green Matters, which focuses on environmental issues, named Aptera as one of the top 10 best electric car companies for a sustainable ride. Not bad for a vehicle that isn't in production yet. But I think the big news was Aptera's road trip on Route 66 from Flagstaff, Arizona to Carlsbad, California. A ride of over 300 miles using their track vehicle named Hermes. Now, Hermes wasn't designed for range testing because it's heavier and lacks some of the aerodynamic treatments of a standard production vehicle. Yet it still managed to deliver 122 watt-hours per mile, which is still at least twice as efficient as any EVs on the road today. And that's based on real-world driving, not the kind of controlled testing the EPA will do. On top of that, the solar panels added 20 miles of range, mostly while the car was in motion and through varying sunlight and shaded conditions. All this bodes well for the kinds of numbers we can expect to see on a completed production vehicle. The real third-party testing will be done in a couple of months, with the completion of PI3 to be called Gemini. Then later this summer, Artemis, the show vehicle which wasn't drivable at CES, will be prepped to take a road trip across the country to visit reservation holders and supporters in person. And this just in. Aptera announced a new promotion to raise money. Any new investment from $1,000 to $10,000 will result in an equivalent discount on your vehicle. If your investment is $5,000 or more, you'll not only get the equivalent discount, but you will also get a priority delivery slot after the existing 2,000 accelerator slots. There are only 1,000 priority slots available, and they'll be assigned in the order your investment is finalized. If you want one of those slots, you should probably act quickly, as Aptera recently announced they've already filled the first 200 slots, and they've filled more since then. Chris Anthony, Aptera's co-CEO, also said the company has spent about $120 million so far, with around $70 million of that going towards engineering. This is a fraction of the money traditional car companies spend to get to this point. They estimate they need another $60 million in 2025, most of which will go towards production tooling, capital equipment, validation, and testing. They plan to raise half of that in equity, and the rest through a combination of debt, equipment financing, existing cash reserves, and available grant funding. Though very optimistic, Anthony pointed out there were no guarantees in terms of raising this money. We are living in complicated times that have not been friendly to any electric vehicles, much less Aptera. In fact, the whole automotive industry is nervous and has reason to be concerned. Nonetheless, Aptera keeps at it, keeps pushing through the headwinds, and I truly, truly hope they have their David and Goliath moment. That's it for now. I hope you found this episode informative. Feel free to leave your comments and share this video with others, and I hope you'll join me for future episodes of Chasing Aptera.